This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses. I consider Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory to be my arch nemesis. Even though I say this, I know we have one thing in common. That is, we both have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. For Grandpa Joe, that's because he is a bad person. For me, it's because I sleep on a mattress made by Novilla, today's sponsor. Meet their Bliss Organic Memory Foam Mattress. Perfect for those who want a cool, dry, undisturbed sleep throughout the night, made with organic bamboo charcoal fiber, excellent motion isolation, cooling gel-infused memory foam that fits all bed frames and is reasonably priced between $179 and $369. Perfect for if you want an inexpensive mattress for you, your children, or even for your guest room. Like I said, I personally sleep on a Novilla mattress, and it has done wonders for me. Throw out that cheap Walmart mattress you got in college and get yourself a mattress made by Novilla. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% on any purchase through Novilla directly. Become just like Grandpa Joe on a Novilla mattress today. Again, that's 10% off using promo code Schweezy. A reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Hello, and what is going on, my fellow Schwoke Lords?
What?
Welcome to yet another episode of Cancel Schweezy. Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Welcome to the show today. Folks, like I say, this is the best episode that we've ever made over here at Cancel Schweezy, and I am just as excited as you are that you are here today to celebrate another episode of everything we do in this on this show. So welcome to Cancel Schweezy. If you don't know, I'm Schweezy, but most of you probably know me as either the Foreplay King or your moms have been calling me for a while now. So with that being said, well, welcome to the show today, folks. Cancel Schweezy, only podcast that's not talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, because there's a lot going on there, and I don't think I have the mental capacity to be going over that. So welcome to the show today. Like I said, our best episode of Cancel Schweezy ever, 75. Apparently that's a number. 25 more weeks until we get to Cancel Schweezy 100. Our next big milestone, so it's probably, I think we'll probably get to it this year. I think there's at least 25 weeks left in the year. Probably around October, November, maybe, if we don't have to take any months off or any time off to do that. So, yeah, I think we're getting rather close to 100 episodes of Cancel Schweezy. They said we couldn't do it. I said I can do it. And I'm about to do it. So welcome, one and all, to the show today. So one thing you got to do, go check out my music. Anywhere you stream music, I'm there. And that is something that you need to be doing. You need to be streaming my music nonstop, or else things will happen. What are those things? I don't know. But Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, wherever you get anything. D's nuts. Got him. Great places to go check that out. I also have social media pages: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Give me a reason to use social media, folks. If you want to know, that is the reason I will be on there, and why you need to definitely go check out what we're doing over on social media. So don't be stingy.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
And and
I really like that.
So I also stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSchweezy. Thursdays always, and then other days too. I had 2 weeks off from streaming, and I need to get back into it this Thursday. So I'll have to figure out what I want to do in regards to that. So I will figure that all out and get back. What would you want? Probably maybe Fortnite. I need to grind up. I want to get Doctor Strange in Fortnite, so I do need to do a little bit of grinding. So The more you play, the more you win. If you have an Amazon Prime account, which I know a majority of people do already, that gives you access to a Twitch Prime account, meaning you get one free sub every month to support a creator. Following any creators or streamers over on Twitch is 100% free, but if you would like to support them, they're called subs over on Twitch, typically around $5, and you get one free with your Amazon Prime account, so why not help out Daddy? So, don't be stingy.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
You can also check out our Patreon page where you can financially support us and everything that we do in the long run. Other things you can do, like all the free things you can do out there. Obviously, smash that like button. Subscribe to the show wherever we're listening to it. If you're watching it, or if you're listening to it, wherever you listen to the shows, there, make sure you go check that out. If you're on YouTube, we share highlights of the show all the time, and a majority of the stuff on the show gets made into highlights, and so that's a great way to help jumpstart your friends into the podcast. Hit them up with one video, send them another, and then before we know it, they have joined our family, and it's about family, isn't it? Family. We're all about family here at TheSchweezy. So yeah, definitely do that. Audio only listeners, obviously, you need to be leaving reviews for the show, and also giving us a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 star rating, and telling every person you know about it. Your grandma, your mom, your dad. I know a lot of people who are friends with my dad started listening to the show, so welcome to the show. You are not my target audience, but we will not shun you away from this podcast. We accept all members. The problem is you may not want to be accepted. That's the real kicker in what we're doing here. You're like, we want to be. We're all accept. TheSchweezy's all accepting. The question is, you may not want to be accepted. That's a big question. Other than that, I think I've kind of ran out of things to talk about. Let me get my I don't have Mountain Dew. I have Diet Coke today. That's what I'm drinking today. So you're just feeling good all the time. It's not even alcohol. All right. Let's get into the news. Previous week right now, for those of you who don't know what previous week right now is the news brought to you by me, the important news. You're hearing Amber Turd this, Johnny Depp that. But what has been really going on? Probably something. The U.S. government's probably trying to pass some bill while we're all distracted. It's a typical thing they do. They're kind of stingy.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
And but this is previous week right now. So what we do here is we go over the previous week. And then I bet when people are wondering, like, when are you going to go over the previous week? I'm going to go over it right now. So let's, as Phil DeFranco would say,
let's just jump into it.
This is from the Press Enterprise. California woman drops phone into outhouse, falls in head first, and gets stuck. Look, folks, I told you, if you're one of my dad's friends and you decided you want to start getting into the show, I'm like, you don't have to. You can end here. A woman who accidentally dropped her phone into the hole of a vault toilet fell in while trying to retrieve it and was trapped for more than an hour. The incident occurred Tuesday afternoon near the parking lot at the summit of Mount Walker, a 2,800-foot mountain at the east edge of Washington's Olympic National Park, said a social media post from Brennan Fire Department. The woman, described only as a Californian in her 40s, was trying to retrieve the phone that had fallen into the toilet. She disassembled and removed the seat so she could lie down and lean in the hole, clinging with one hand to a dog leash she had tied to a support. The leash failed, and she slid into and fell into the vault head first. The fire department report said, after about 20 minutes of unsuccessfully attempting to climb out, God, she She used her phone to call 911. She got the phone back. That's great news. Rescue crews responded from the Brennan and Quilcene fire departments, each about 10 miles away. They handed down items that she could stand on, and when she was within their reach, they pulled her out. She suffered no physical injuries. The patient was washed down and given a Tyvek suit to wear. The account said she was strongly encouraged to seek medical attention because of her immersion in human waste, but she only wanted to leave, the report said. No shit. She thanked the responders and continued her journey back to California. It concludes, vault toilets on national recreation land generally have a pit at least 5 feet deep that can hold more than 500 gallons of waste. Vault toilets. I'm going to look this up, what vault toilets look like. They're on a handy-dandy iPad. Vault toilet. This is what she fell into. Yeah, this article. I like how I'm using the news from the Press Enterprise, and I'm seeing like CNN and posting about this. What is a vault toilet? Show me an image of what a vault toilet looks like. So it's a little bit nice. So it kind of looks like the one from Shrek. For those of you listening to the show, I'll have a picture of what a vault toilet looks like. Well, yeah, for those listening, it looks like the one Shrek kicks down to somebody wants me, the world is gonna roll me. All I can really say is, this woman has kind of had a shitty day. Well, I'll be here all week, folks. Okay, so she retrieved the phone. That's good. There's probably shit in the phone. So you could lie down, lean in the hole, clean with one hand. The dog she had tied for sport. I guess she just fell in. But she got her phone. At least she didn't have to wait for someone. But can you call 911? I'm stuck in the toilet. And then they're like, how'd you get yourself in there? Whatever the fuck they're saying. Anyways, though, what a shitty day for that person. Literally. I need to not use that laugh track anymore. Anyways, though, yeah, things kind of sucked for her. Let's move on. From The Verge, sending a probe to Uranus labeled as top priority by space science community. The space science community think the time is ripe to study Uranus in depth. And they're being serious. A new report compiled a planetary scientists from across the United States say that sending an interplanetary probe to study the ice giant planet should be considered the top priority for planetary exploration over the next decade. Specifically, scientists are calling on NASA to create the Uranus Orbiter and Probe, a UOP. The mission concept would send spacecraft into orbit around Uranus. Along with a probe that would plunge into the planet's atmosphere. Scientists envision such a mission launching sometime in the early 2030s, as long as engineers get started on it as soon as next year. If it works, the UOP mission could provide the most intricate detail yet about this mostly unexplored world. The only spacecraft to ever visit Uranus was NASA's Voyager 2 mission, which flew by the planet in 1986, coming within 50,700 miles of the planet's cloud tops. Voyager 2 unlocked some intriguing secrets about Uranus, discovering new moons and rings around the planet, but Voyager 2 didn't stay for long. It zoomed by during its exploration of the outer solar system and kept going, eventually heading off into interstellar space. An orbiter and a probe could provide a wealth of additional knowledge. Most of all, they could tell us exactly what Uranus is made of. Scientists believe the planet mainly consists of some combination of rock, ices, and hydrogen and helium. But that hasn't really been confirmed. Our understanding of the interior structure of the planet is so poor that we really have very little idea what the ratio of those things are to each other. Jonathan Fortney, a professor at UC Santa Cruz, who authored a report about possible missions to Uranus and Neptune, tells The Verge, and so there's been a long assumption that it's mostly these ices, but that's that. It's literally an assumption. We don't really know that. Additionally, when scientists look at planets outside our solar system, ice giants like Uranus and Neptune seem to dominate the universe, and yet they are the only main planets in our solar system that we've never orbited. Ice giant-like planets are some of the most common ones out there. Bethany Ehrman, a professor at Caltech and one of the steering committee members of the Decadal, tells The Verge, we have two in our cosmic neighborhood in our solar system, and it's high time we check them out. The Uranus mission is at the top of a long wish list detailed today in what is known as the Planetary Science Decadal survey published by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. It's a massive document written every 10 years or so by groups of planetary scientists detailing the space mission they'd most likely to see happen a decade into the future. The Decadal survey is done so infrequently because the extensive amount of time it takes to plan and build a flagship interplanetary spacecraft, often requiring roughly a decade of work to execute. Because it takes so long to pull off a space mission, scientists have to be strategic about their asks, ranking the mission they want to happen in order of highest to lowest priority. The Uranus mission was actually first recommended in 2011 during the last Decadal survey, but the spacecraft was listed as the third highest priority behind a Mars rover designed to look for signs of life on the red planet and a spacecraft to study Jupiter's icy moon, Europa, thought to harbor a liquid water ocean underneath its surface. Both of these priorities have manifested into actual missions. The Mars rover became NASA's Perseverance rover, which lands on the red planet in February 2021 and continues to drill up samples of the Martian soil. The mission to Europa became NASA's Europa Clipper, a spacecraft designed to periodically zoom by Jupiter's moon to potentially taste its atmosphere. Why are you using the word taste? And perhaps pass through plumes of water that might erupt from its surface. As of now, Europa Clipper is slated to launch in October of 2024, and its arrival at Europa is scheduled for 2030. So, very interesting stuff. The jokes literally write themselves. First of all, that article is fucking long as hell. So, it's finally time we study Uranus. And I remember I had a teacher in middle school who wanted us to say Uranus, and we're like, it's Uranus. It has anus in the name, and there's no reason why we can't be doing that shit all the time now. Yeah, like, it is weird though, like. There's like all these like planets, like at least in our solar system, and I thought, wasn't it just a bunch of gas or something? They said it's like an icy planet, or like, assuming we could create like a spacesuit or whatever that could help us do this. Is it possible to walk on Uranus? Maybe Uranus is too big. I know the moons. I think we could technically live on the moons, but I don't know. Maybe that's for you to decide. Maybe you decide if Uranus is able to be walked on. Walking on the sun. It's a Smash Mouth themed day. Smash Mouth themed day. This is from mystateline.com, the best news site. Here we go. This one's interesting. Biden admin hires role-playing fetishist for nuclear waste post.
What?
There we go. President Joe Biden has appointed Sam Brinton, an outspoken drag queen and queer activist, to oversee spent fuel and waste in the Nuclear Energy Office of the Department of Energy. Brinton, a graduate of MIT with dual master's degrees in nuclear engineering and technology, has also been an activist for Global Zero and the gay and transgender suicide prevention organization, the Trevor Project, and has advocated against gay conversion therapy. He previously advised President Donald Trump on nuclear waste matters, according to the Washington Examiner. I have accepted the offer to serve as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition in the Office of Nuclear Energy for the Department of Energy. Britton Britton wrote on LinkedIn, "In this role, I'll be doing what I always dreamed of doing, leading the effort to solve the nation's nuclear waste challenges." Britton has raised eyebrows on social media for his advocacy of sexual fetishism and expressed enthusiasm for puppy play, a sexual kink involving role-playing as animals. In a post in the student newspaper at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in 2017, Terry Schilling, president of the American Principles Project, called Britton a complete sexual degenerate. Another tweeted, "This is what's in charge of nuclear waste issues in the Biden administration. It should start with itself." LGBTQ plus advocates have been praising Britton's appointments, including Marty Cummings, a drag performer who ran for New York City Council last year, who said, "I think these right-wing attacks are gross and rooted in homophobia. It's mind-boggling that in 2022 we're still dealing with this. Maybe a girl. The first known drag queen voted into public office on the Silver Lake neighborhood Countill. It says Countill. I'm not making this up. In Los Angeles in 2019 told Yahoo News, "Having this appointment is not a negative, it's a positive for our country. The real negative is trying to overthrow the government and trying to not teach kids about the real history of this country," girl continued. "How we are built off a patriarchal racist system that needs to be rebuilt to be truly equitable for all people, black and brown, indigenous, AAPI, Jewish, Muslim, everyone, and that includes queer people, non-binary, transgender, and genderqueer people like Sam." So, the gender thing doesn't bother me. I think Sam, they, them, I think they are very qualified for this position. Like he advised the Trump administration. They went to, almost said he. I was like, nope, I'm fixing myself. I'm not going to play myself.
Congratulations. You play
Not going to play myself. It's, Sam is a graduate from MIT, dual master's degrees in nuclear engineering and technology. And then activism, obviously. I feel like that's fine. Like, you can be an activist for whatever the fuck you want. So they're very qualified for the position. Here's the problem I think I have with this whole thing is that Sam Britton, this dude, and dude is a gender neutral term. This dude needs to definitely I'm just a big believer that we all have our sexual kinks. And I think that you don't need to be telling the world your sexual kinks. I think it's okay to keep that shit to yourself. Because I don't need to know that this dude, like I said, that's gender neutral term I'm using it as. I do not need to know that this dude is into acting like a dog during sex. I didn't need to know that. No one needs to know that. Look, this dude, very qualified for the job. A great pick for the job. And, I have there's no problems there. And, and I'm a big believer, I know there's never, majority of things have always been like white people doing this, white people doing that, straight people doing this, getting these roles and stuff like that. So, as long as someone is qualified, I don't think there's any problem with your gender, your race, my biggest priority is, are they qualified for like the job and in situations like that, like women directors. I'm like, there are plenty of great women directors out there. And yeah, I think was great to support when they make good movies. Like, women have been writing books forever. We haven't stopped them from writing books. And that's why the Hallmark Channel exists. So, here's the thing. Can we, I don't know who's in the Biden administration can say anything about this. Can we just tell this dude that no one needs to know that he acts like a dog during sex? And if you like to act like a dog during sex, that is perfectly fine as long as it's consensual. Just keep that shit to yourself, because I don't want to know. The only time you talk about your sexual kinks is if you have a podcast. And that's the only time you talk about your sex life is on a podcast. That's the rule that we've all decided to live by. And we're going to stick by that rule, because that's how life works. You only talk about your personal problems on podcasts. Nowhere else, just podcasts. And let's respect that. Okay. This is from M Live, M assuming standing for Michigan. Cat known for huge eyes, wonky feet to become mayor of small Michigan town. Straight out of Hell, Michigan, a cat known for her oversized eyes and wonky feet is about to become the mayor of a small Michigan town. And not just any town, this little black cat will rule over Hell, located about 20 miles northwest of Ann Arbor. Anyone can become mayor of Hell for a day. It's part of the town's shtick. Pets, though, are another thing. Sunday, April 24th will actually be the first time a cat will make sure as all hell doesn't break loose. Jinx's owner, Mia, rescued her 3 years ago, and the two have been inseparable ever since. Wherever Mia is, Jinx is. Wherever Jinx is, Mia is. The duo lives in California. Mia who goes by Mia Jinx on Twitter, declined to have her last name used for the story to keep some anonymity due to Jinx's huge social media following. We're talking 735,000 followers on TikTok and 400,000 on Instagram. I rescued Jinx in 2018 and I wasn't even looking for a cat, Mia told M Live. I came home early from a football game. I was supposed to be home much later. I heard meowing in my backyard and discovered her. She was super tiny, only about 3 weeks old. As Jinx grew over the days and weeks, Mia says she noticed her new kitten appeared to be a little different. She had big eyes as she grew bigger, her eyes didn't get smaller, and I also noticed she had big feet. She doesn't have a condition, and the vet says she's healthy. She just has these birth defects. She's also not as agile as most cats and is a little clumsy. She only learns how to land on her feet a year ago. Jinx will rule over Hell for the day from afar. Mia plans a live stream via Jinx Twitch page at around 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time, where she will make the big announcement to viewers. Mia also plans to create graphs jokingly show how Jinx won the election to become mayor by a landslide, along with what her proclamation decrees will be for the day before she is eventually impeached by the town's reverend. We love our in-person and distant mayors, says Reverend Vaughn of Hell, who will swear Jinx in via proclamation over the phone. Our Mayor of the Day package is the perfect gift for those who heard to buy for and/or have everything. They get to have one hell of a fun day, and at the end of it, we'll receive the dreaded phone call to be impeached. Just how did this owner of a viral cat from California discover the tiny town of Hell and learn she could make her beloved feline mayor for the day? I made a joke on Twitter saying, imagine Jinx will run for president. I had also seen animal mayors before, and I sent a tweet out asking how to make Jinx mayor if someone mentioned Michigan, and that you could pay to be mayor of Hell for a day. The cost to rule Hell for the day is $100 for both humans and now animals. It includes a mayoral proclamation service, a Hell souvenir mug, souvenir shirt, and certificate of impeachment. The mayor also will own property in Hell 1 square inch. Oh, you actually own a square. Oh, that's not that much. I was like, oh, you actually own property. I was like, it's like a square inch. It's probably like a big field. And they're like, you own this little area. I'm like, cool. Anyways, though, what a wholesome story for us to end the previous week right now on, for the most part. And, I think animals as mayors of towns is a good thing. Now, bigger towns, probably not. But small towns, I think, is a great idea. Because when there's like 100 people living in a little area, you probably don't need a mayor. Let's be honest with you. Being the mayor is probably just you starting some shit or whatever. But hell, I would have voted for the cat for mayor. I definitely would have voted for the cat. I don't know anyone who would be like, I think this cat is racist. Like, it's a black cat. Maybe, wonder if this is the first black citizen or a first black thing. I was going to say black person. I'm like, when was the first black to actually become mayor of Hell? I don't know. That's a good question for all of us. But $100 is actually pretty good. I mean, like, let's see. Like, you also get, with $100, you get a rule Hell for a day, proclamation certificate, a Hell souvenir mug, souvenir shirt, and certificate of impeachment. And you also get like 1 square inch of land. Like, that's not very big. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like everything else put together could be like $50, and then the other $50. I actually think that's a pretty good deal. Good on you, Hell. Hell seems like a great place. So maybe Hell isn't that bad after all. That's a lesson for today. Maybe Hell isn't that bad after all. Did you know that 40% of the food in the US goes uneaten? I did, and I don't think that is very cash money considering $218 billion is the exact dollar amount being thrown away. But now I know you're asking yourself, what can I do to help? Well, today's sponsor, Imperfect Foods, is here to solve that problem. Imperfect Foods is helping to prevent food waste, and so far, their customers have saved 139 million pounds of food. They're affordable and convenient, making sustainability more accessible. What I love most is that they meet a lot of different dietary needs. In moments I'm stingy with my diet, I always go full throttle on a low-carb diet. They can even hook you up if you're vegan or vegetarian as well. Here's the best part. When you sign up using the link in the description, you get an $80 credit. Holy guacamole from the avocados you can get from Imperfect Food. That is an incredible deal that you should be taking advantage of. So sign up for Imperfect Foods today. Help stop food waste and get an $80 credit. Remember, when you use our links and promos, you directly support this show. You all know that I'm built different, but I bet you are coming to me to learn how to be built different as well. The only way to be built different is to get yourself supplements from today's sponsor, FNX Fitness. FNX Fitness is committed to creating innovative supplements of the highest quality that provide focus for a productive morning, energy to thrive all day, performance supplements to reach new goals, unique sleep and recovery formulas to support any sport, and healthy supplements to support an active lifestyle for years to come. I also really enjoy their clothing line that makes you look good while working out as well. Another thing I love about FNX Fitness is that with every purchase, they donate a gallon of water to a child in need. Start working out smarter, not harder. By using the link in our description today, you can save 15% on your purchase. So go save 15% on some of the best supplements out there when using the link in our description. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. I really played myself. I don't take that lightly. I really played myself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So apparently my driver's license expired back in August, and I just never did. It hasn't been a problem. Truly has not been a problem for me. So my license expired, and I'm up here with my mom. My dad recently passed away, so I'm up here, up helping my mom out around. And I guess she needed my ID for something, so I just took a picture of it, sent it to her, and she was like, "This license has been expired for 8 months." And I was like, "Yeah, it hasn't really been a problem until now." And they're like, "You have to get that fixed." And I was like, "Okay." So I had to go get a new driver's license. So it's been 8 months since I guess it's been expired, and apparently I missed the 6-month window because I'm probably just a little lazy and stupid, a little stupid.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Really. So they were like, "Yeah, you have to retake all your tests."
That's rough, buddy.
But no, I had to fix. I just I was like, it hasn't been a problem. I mean, I guess when people are just trying to verify your age, they just look at your date of birth. They don't look at anything else in the driver's license. I think there was a problem one time, but that was I think it was at Steve's birthday party. Basically that's all it was. So I have to retake the written test that you do to get your permit and the actual driving test. Now, I wasn't super worried about the actual driving test. I was a little worried about the written test. So, I don't know if most people have a learner's permit or whatever. Basically, you take a test, and basically it's just general driving laws and stuff like that. So, a lot of things. My hair is just all of a sudden gotten weird. So all this show is me adjusting my hair into the camera. First thing, you take the driver's test. I actually kind of went a little cocky. They give you 2 tries to do it because people, you just fail. People fail at one time because they have to get 20 out of 25 questions right. First round, I think I got to question 11 and I was already out. And I was like, fuck me. Then I get to the second one, and I passed it. I was like, okay, I just gotta get 4 more right. I think I had like 1 or 2, like 1 wrong or something like that. I can do this. I can get all these right. And I did, because I'm simply built different. The problem is, though, with these tests, and like, we realize, like, when we're like 15, I think most places, like, you get your permit at 15 or 14, and then you try for your license at 16. I think some states, they raise the age, lower the age. Like the adult diapers, it depends. So getting my license, passing that driver's test, passed the second time. I passed it the second time. I'm literally built different. And everyone in my family was just in awe of how smart I am, because I am the smartest guy probably any of you have ever known. But they have questions like, how long do you have an invalid driver's license after you get a DUI? And you're like, that's a good question. Probably something we should all know. I've never had a DUI because I don't drink and drive. I'm not stupid. I'm not that stupid.
This is the type of guy you get.
So I think my first test I put 90 days. I was like, that sounds like it, but no, it's a year. So if you get a DUI, that is 1 year. No, you're not allowed to drive. You could probably still drive. Just probably don't drink and drive and don't get pulled over. That's going to be a good idea. Also, just don't drink and drive in the first place. Uber's cheap, and then you're like, well, there are a lot of Ubers where I live. Well, walk. I don't know. Figure your shit out. Someone will give you a ride. Someone else will figure that shit out for you. I remember this other question was like, how many feet can a pole sticking out of the back of your truck, how many feet can it be before you have to put a sticker on the back of it so people know, hey, there's a pole sticking out of the back of this truck? The answer is 5 feet, I think. I don't know. Anyways, though, that was the rough. And then there's like some obvious questions you have on there. It was like, you have a stop coming up and you see someone crossing the street. What do you do? And the correct answer is, wait for them to finish crossing, make a complete stop, wait for them to cross the street, and then you can proceed. It's like answers like that. And like, if you've been driving, I've been driving for over a decade, so, already. So, you stop at a stop sign, and then you see someone, you wait, and then you go, and stuff like that. But, there's questions like that, but then it's all, word questions, and they're trying to trick you, too. I'm like, if you know the answer, you should know what the answer is. Like I said, I am super surprised, because, kids study for these tests for, months and stuff like that. I just walked in. I was just told I had to go get it fixed. So I did. I passed it. I passed that test. So that test was fine. I passed that test. I'm built different. I passed the written test. And then they're like, would you like to take your driving test too? And I was like, sure. Well, let's get that out of the way. This one I was not super worried about. So, so you get in the car, obviously they test you. And I guess I'm in a new vehicle right now. And I forgot how you turn your brights on. So I forgot that. But at the end of the test, I'm like, yeah, I just remember this, how you turn the brights on. You press the brakes, left turn signal, right turn signal. I think they're just making sure your vehicle is safe before they get into it, and because they don't want to die or whatever. Then you do the actual test. They're like, let's do parallel parking first. And now, when I actually did my original test, they were like, you parallel parked perfectly, but it didn't look like you were looking at all when you're doing it. And I haven't really parallel parked much at all, because in places you usually have to parallel park, either just I'm like, nah, or I just Uber there, because that's a lot simpler than parallel parking. So I got it. I did it fine. But they're like, yeah, it took you a little bit to get it, but you got it. I'm like, yeah, built different. Then you did the other test, pulling in here, and I'm like, you put your hand on the back of the passenger seat, be like, yeah, this is old school right here. This is how you do it. Make sure to look back and everything like that. It was like that. I overacted on how I usually don't drive, because usually kind of like, geez, I try to set my mirrors in a way so there's no like real dead zone. But like, look in the mirrors, look at the side mirrors, look at both my mirrors, and then like emerge into another lane. That's how I usually do it. And stuff like that. They're like, how do you park on a hill? And then, you're supposed to, like, if you're parking on a hill, you're supposed to like turn your wheels in a specific way. It's different when you're parking uphill or downhill. And it's like you turn your wheels that way. If your brakes just all of a sudden decide to unalive themselves, it'll drive into the grass or something. So like, it's not like in the middle of the road or something like that. There's a reason. There's a reason for it. I have never done that in my entire life. Anytime I've parked on a hill, I have never done that. I think one time I did. I was going to my friend Kevin. He plays a lot of house shows, and so I was going to one of those, and it was like the super steep hill. So that was the one time I ever did, and I rarely use my emergency brake either. So that's also a thing. So they're like, oh yeah, why would you park on this hill? I'm like, oh yeah, so like you turn it, like, and I just turned it the direction I think it was like uphill. So I think I turned it this way, whatever I'm doing, turning my wheel to the right, and then putting the emergency brake on, and I'm like, I knocked it out of the park. So we get back. It didn't seem like a very long test at all. I remember driving tests used to feel a lot longer than that. Maybe I'm built different. So I get out of the car, and they're like, yeah, you passed. And then you get out, and the tester was like, so have you had a license before? And I was like, yeah, I'm 28. I've had a driver's license since I was 16. I let my license get expired. I waited too long to get that fixed, and now I had to retake the test. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. And she was like, yeah, it happens. Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot. Most people, when they get their driver's license, don't have to take the same test again. And but I passed it, flying colors. So I'm built different, better than anyone else. So then I had to like find a random ass bill. You know what you can do if you do all your bills online. Like, I always thought with like getting a license, you had to have like proof of residency. I thought it had to be like official mail or whatever with your name on it. It can just be a bill with your name and address on it. Like, you could just print off the bill online. They at least the DMV I went to accepted it, and therefore I can legally drive again. I always could drive. There was just an 8-month period in my life where I couldn't do it legally. So, folks, what lesson do we have today? If your license expired, just get it fixed immediately. Don't wait around and be an idiot, and don't play yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Okay, so I watched 2 different TV shows that I want to talk about. I originally watched them over 2 weeks ago. The initial idea was to talk about them 2 weeks ago. But then issues with my dad arose. So health issues with my dad came up, and I had to hold this off. And last week I was actually planning on talking about this, but I ended up talking about my dad for too long, and I had to cut it. So now it's finally time. Hopefully my memory serves me right, but luckily I take impeccable notes because I'm built different. We all know I'm built different. And therefore we're going to go over this now. I watched The Dropout on Hulu. It's about science hottie Elizabeth Holmes. I think I talked about her like a month or so ago, or at least back in March for Women's History Month, of the terrible women I think I'm attracted to. And Elizabeth Holmes made that list. And of the 3 women, she was definitely, I guess, she didn't murder anyone, I guess she could have been the cause of someone's death, but not directly. It's just semi-directly through misinformation of health. Misinformation of health. That's the term. So if you don't know anything about Elizabeth Holmes, I'm going to catch you up on her. the TV show did a great job doing that, but now it's my turn because that show is not my podcast. Basically, she started Theranos in college with this idea that you could do like a prick of your fingers and get that drop of blood. And what you can do is blood tests. And the idea is like you go like a doctor maybe once every 6 months if you're a normal person, just for your standard checkup. And like, if you get blood testing and stuff like that, they just check, make sure everything's wrong. But that's once every 6 months. The idea behind this would be like you get it every single month. And then so like you have updated health information throughout your like entire health thing. So like on paper, this idea is pretty great. However, the technology did not exist to be able to do that, and I don't know if it does exist now, but it didn't exist initially when the story took place, and that's the gambit. That's the story. And so she did a lot of sketchy things, like they had to do a demo, and they faked the demo for it. So just a lot of sketchy things. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. The show The Dropout, starring Amanda Seyfried. Seyfried. That's how she played Cosette in the 2012 Les Miserables, and Karen on Mean Girls. So fantastic actor. So one thing I want to talk about is Elizabeth and Sonny. Sonny is an Indian guy. He has brown skin. I think let's. I just touched everything on the soundboard. Let's look it up. Let's pull out the iPad again. Sonny Theranos. Not. Oh, Sonny Ramesh, Sonny Baldwin. Wait, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, he's what country he's from? And so I was like, what fucking race is he? Pakistan. Okay, so I was way off. 100%. Yeah, there's like a 19-year age gap between the two.
What?
Yep. Between Sonny and her. Made him. He really made Elizabeth
feel like a woman, a real woman.
So there's like a 19-year age gap. And so like how the story, at least in the show, worked, like when I watched like a documentary, there's a documentary on HBO, a really good one, and it went through, Elizabeth, the whole story, basically the whole story, kind of what you heard here, but this is like actors acting out. That's like a documentary telling you what the hell is going on. And so everyone's like, they thought Sonny and Elizabeth had something, but no, this one just confirmed that they were in a relationship. And at first it just seemed like a genuine friendship, and later I realized it was kind of weird. I guess she was 18 when they met, so technically it was always legal. Still fucking weird. It's that weird. I always say, when you talk about the age gap, there's the general rules of make sure they're, queens above 18.
What?
That guy. But 18 and 35 is weird. And then, 30 and 49 is not weird. So, it's like that. It's always when you met the girl. So, if you meet a girl, like I'm 28 right now, and, I meet a girl who's 13, and we don't do anything ever, and then she turns, 20, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not that weird, but I met her when she was 13, so that's kind of weird. But if I meet someone who's 20 right now, it's not a big deal. That's how life is, and my hair is being... It's only weird when I'm podcasting. And so, yeah, the age gap was weird. And it kind of just seemed like the more you're watching it, he was being super manipulative towards her. And I kind of assume that she would have probably been a little bit more ethical. I think Sonny, he's just a shady business guy. And I've worked jobs with people just like Sonny. Not the Pakistan part, just some of them were white. Some of them were not white. The race didn't matter in that situation. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. But, you people who are sketchy like that, who are just, like, rude to you, and you're like, you're replaceable, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, this is your head scientist. If you fire him, there's a lot of problems you have going on. So, that was, like, one thing. And so, he's just a shady dude, shady businessman, and, like, he just kept Theranos afloat longer, just when they didn't have the technology to do what they were doing. So... And they're just super, super sketchy business practices. I think people, if they're like, don't talk to anyone outside of your department, once you get to that, it's like, okay, they're doing something sketchy here. I've been companies, like, I've been catching on to sketchy things they're doing, and it's weird. They had this segment with, like, these guys from Walgreens, because initially they were going to do these testing stations at Walgreens, so you can go and get your test. They send it, do the test, and they tell you all your shit. But, like, they made them like a comedy troupe. Like, why did they make it super weirdly comedy? Like, it was just weird back and forth banter with, like, the Walgreens guys. I don't know why. It just, all of a sudden, it was, like, just this serious story, interesting story you're watching. Then all of a sudden, these Walgreens guys are, like, the Three Stooges, kind of, minus the weird hitting each other and shit like that. That was a little off. I mean, I guess it got the point across, though. Then, here's one thing that has nothing to do with anything in the story. So, there's a scene where Elizabeth, people were calling her on her phone. She's like, I'm about to go into a meeting, so I'll call you back or whatever, which is funny. And she's on first class because that's how she made herself rich that way. The thing is, though, she was holding the iPhone 5C. Now, I remember getting the iPhone 5S was the first iPhone I had. And I remember there's the 5S and the 5C came out. The 5C was plastic and was a lot cheaper. It wasn't, like, the worst phone ever. But, like, the thing is, it was a budget phone. Nothing wrong with it. It's just a budget iPhone. I think they made an iPhone, and they made an iPhone SE, and I had the iPhone SE. They have another one, which is, like, in the iPhone 8 body. So it's nothing wrong having it, but why are you flying first class and have the cheap iPhone? It's just very weird. And I just thought that was weird. I think it even may have not been released yet, but in the time frame when this came out. Then there's also it was called the Siemens machine. Siemens machine. SIEMENS. Siemens machine. And that's the name. They were like, could we name it anything else? No, it has to be named Siemens. And that's what basically the whole point of the machine was. They had a machine in their office, and they were like, we don't want to copy it, but we also need something that works just like it. And so, eventually they opened it up and figured out how it worked and stuff like that. And then you got this guy, Richard Foyce. He was played by, not John Wayne Gacy. Not John Wayne Gacy. He played William H. Macy, which actually does rhyme with John Wayne Gacy. Played Richard Foyce. Frank from Shameless. He's not a good guy, and he did some bullshit. He does a lot of medical patents, and that's how he made his money. And he tried to sue Elizabeth because when she initially was starting, she didn't ask him to be on the board or help at all, and so he tried to get a patent out of spite, and they sued him and everything. And there's a whole thing with the lawsuit there. And Red Foreman was Elizabeth's lawyer, and good stuff right there. Dylan Minnette from 13 Reasons Why, he played Tyler Schultz. Great casting. And if you watch the original HBO documentary, they really go over his story well. And also, I have to say, Amanda Seyfried, or Cosette from Les Miserables, or Karen from Mean Girls, spectacular. I think she really nailed the role for Elizabeth. At some point, you could see her cracking and not doing the low voice. That was kind of weird. But besides that, I guess I don't know if Amanda Seyfried's natural voice was hi, I'm Elizabeth Holmes, and I'm the CEO of Theranos, or whatever shit, though. Overall, great show. If you have a Hulu subscription, definitely check it out. Definitely a worthwhile watch. Another thing that I watched 2 weeks ago, because life happens, and this has just been on the back burner for 2 weeks, I watched Pam and Tommy, about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. I saw Tommy Lee. He was on an episode of Your Mom's House, and he did another podcast on Honeydew. And when he was on the show, like he seemed like a really sweet guy, like a just really nice guy. He's been around, and like he knew, like he fucked a ton of women and did a lot of drugs and all that shit. But overall, like he seemed like a really sweet guy. But I guess cancel culture has never gone after Tommy Lee, or he's really made it up to the world. I don't know. But like in this show, he's definitely portrayed as a giant ass asshole. And Sebastian Stan, James Buchanan Barnes, Bucky, in the Marvel movies. He is fantastic on this. And I know most of you who've already seen the show or watching the highlight or whatever it is, and you're thinking, I wonder what he has to say about the talking dick scene. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to talk about that because it was weird. And this is a classy show for classy individuals. So what do I have to say? So the concept of the show, like the story behind it, is Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, like eventually, they got married and shit, and they kind of filmed a sex tape on their own. It was just kind of for them, and never really for anyone else. That was just the whole point of the thing. It was just kind of for them. Tommy Lee then refused to pay a carpenter and a construction worker who was working on like a bedroom for them in their house. The carpenter ran Gauthier. He decided to put karma into his own hands and decided to steal, like he went through all this stuff and steal like a safe from his house, and it took them a couple months before they even noticed it was gone, but 2 months, but like also how often are you going into a safe? And so, most of the things that were in the safe was like jewelry, money, guns, and shit like that. But then there was this sex tape. And so, yada, 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 things happen. And now this sex tape is on the internet. And it was the 90s. And the internet was a different thing. Before you could even stream it, you just bought the tape. Then someone buy the tape and they're selling bootlegs of it. All that stuff. It's a crazy situation. So there is the ethical dilemma in all this. So it's like leaking a private sex video like this, this sex tape without consent, is bad regardless of if they did or did not deserve it. I do not think it's ethical for Rand to have been posting it like that. But one thing that really did piss me off about this, though, I do think it was wrong what he did, what Rand did, releasing that sex tape. Is Tommy ended up not paying Rand for the work he already did before he decided to fire them. I think that's a really shitty thing you do. I don't know how mentally far away he was. He was a big rock star at this point. But, he had to have been at one point, he was probably a struggling musician, having to get venue owners to pay them. People owe you money. Marcus King, he does a great thing, and I will do this too. If someone owes you money and like that in a situation like that, and they refuse to pay you, you start taking their things. So if you at a bar and they're like they're like, we're not paying you this. We're underpaying you. It didn't sell or whatever. Even though the deal was that we're gonna pay you this much regardless of the turnout or whatever. And they're like, okay. You go behind the bar, you take a bottle of whiskey, you're like, I'm getting this money, you owe me this money. And they're like, we're gonna call the cops on you. And if you call the cops, I'm like, look, this guy owes us this money and he's not paying for it. We just performed here to the degree. The cops will just be like, figure it out yourselves, idiots. That's what they're doing. That's what the cops are gonna do. So that's what you do. If someone owes you money and they refuse to pay you, what you do is, you take their stuff. That's how it works. Rand was played by Seth Rogen, one of my many doppelgangers. Apparently, I think it looked more like Jonah Hill. I think his story was more interesting. They do go over like Tommy Lee's and stuff like that. So I 100% agree. Stealing that safe, he's justifiable in stealing the safe from Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. And I think 100% ethical that he did that. I mean, like the guns and stuff like that. I mean, the problem is, releasing the sex tape. That was the problem, because Tommy basically got free labor out of him and even like stole his toolbox too, because Tommy thought he was getting screwed over by this guy, because Tommy was being kind of an asshole when he wasn't. And then Tommy tried to justify to Rams like, why would you, I can see you screwed over me, but why would you screw over Pam, sweet Pam Anderson? And I'm like, look, buddy, you not paying him is the reason the sex tape got released. Like, it's your fault. Don't blame Rand. You not paying Rand, Tommy Lee, for that, it's your own fault that sex tape got released. That's 100% your fault. I don't think it's right that he did that, but it's 100% his fault. Don't like trying to justify that he was mean to Pam. You were mean to Pam by not paying this guy, and you should have known better. And I think he's justifiable in at least stealing it, not necessarily in releasing the sex tape. I don't, because typically with porn, it's consensual. You sign releases and everything before you even film a lot of the times. And like I said, another big focus on this was Pamela Anderson. And a lot of people think that the sex tape did ruin her career, even though she did a bunch of shitty movies, and like Baywatch was her biggest show. But it's a good thought process, at least in regards to this, because Pamela Anderson, she posed for Playboy. She was a big Playboy model and stuff like that, and was on Baywatch, so she was kind of like a sexual icon. But the idea behind it, though, is that people were like, why would you make a sex tape if you didn't want to monetize it or whatever? And, it's great because, like, her posing nude, like, for photos, I think is, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, then, like, the sex tape was just for her and Tommy. So it's a good lesson there. And, yeah, so, I mean, that's just a good talk. Good talk on everything. So the lesson we have here of this show, pay people you owe money to, or you're going to have to let them steal your shit. And also don't post sex tapes or news of anyone. I think it's called revenge porn. Don't do that. That's bad, okay? Okay? That's bad, okay?
Pretty bold of you little fucks to assume that I'm not God.
When an enemy shoots at you, you pull out your Captain America shield. When Doc Ock attacks you on a bridge, you control the nanobots from your Iron Spider suit to control his arms. So why are you allowing all these websites to store your credit card information? The solution to that is today's sponsor, Privacy. Privacy is the first payment product that keeps your personal information private while being even more convenient than using a physical payment card online. Privacy empowers you to protect your physical card information. Each merchant you share your card information with puts you more at risk to hackers or data breaches. Why not use a privacy card instead? By creating a virtual card with privacy for each merchant you shop with, your physical card is safe and secure. Privacy cards can be paused or closed at any time, preventing any future transactions from being authorized. Privacy cards can also be single-use, meaning they close after just one authorized transaction. One of my favorite ways to use privacy is for any service with a free trial that requires a credit card to sign up. But wait, there's more. By using our link in the description, you can get $5 to spend anywhere. That's money that you get to use. So start paying the smart way with Privacy. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Anything can be delivered to you these days. Beds, bananas, bricks, and even boxes of beans. But what about alcohol? Yes, even alcohol can be delivered to you thanks to today's sponsor, Drizly. Drizly gets all your favorite beer, seltzer, wine, whiskey, and much more delivered directly to your home. With their easy-to-use mobile app, we are getting one step closer to never leaving our homes. You know it's saying something when it is being praised as the Amazon for liquor. Drizly is my go-to app for getting all the booze I need so I can do other things. So using our link in the description today, you can save $5 off your first purchase through Drizly. Drizly has proprietary ID verification technology that it provides to its retail partners that allow drivers to scan IDs for more than a barcode to make sure the purchaser is over 21 years old in the US and of legal drinking age in Canada. Retailers on Drizly may have a minimum order or delivery fee, so using our link in the description, get $5 off your first order with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. So it's that special time of the episode called Ask Schweezy. Ask Schweezy is people asking me questions, and I'm like,
what?
And I respond to them with knowledge and education and power and knowledge and education of all my years of life. So
let's just jump into it.
So our first question, how do I find /date /ask out a plus, and the plus symbol, sized woman? So it's very easy here. The biggest thing I think you'll need is preparation for this. So the first thing you'll need, I think, best thing you need, just buy a cake. Like any flavor will do, probably not carrot. And what you do, and then you get a net. And so you put the net kind of above her, and you put the cake below. And so she comes for the cake, starts eating it, and then the net drops. There's a trigger there, and then the net drops and captures. Now, you will need about 3 or 4 guys to help move her because it will be difficult on your own. Just fucking kidding. Some of you were like, probably taking me seriously, like, what the fuck is he talking about? How do you ask out a plus size woman? You can probably do it the same way that you ask out not plus size women. You just have to ask. And I'm going to be honest with you, they don't have as many options as you think. And I know I say to everyone, you're a fetish. Ladies, you're a fetish to someone out there. And that's 100% true. But I would probably say I can't imagine a majority of men in the world have a fat fetish. And, yeah.
Let's go full throttle. This is the type of guy you get.
So I think you could just ask him out, just on just like you would a regular woman. If you've ever talked to a woman before, rumor has it that a lot of people who listen to the show don't talk to women, which is weird for the women who do listen out there. And, I mean, that's some good advice, I would say. What is there to say? When you're finding a plus size woman, you just can't pick them up. You ask them out, and you go to them, and if they've lowered their standards enough, they're probably going to say yes to anyone. You never know. Sometimes you meet some women who have a little thicker, a little bit on the fatter side, and they look great. Plus, when you're talking about plus size women, and that's. Should be. I can't imagine it's hard. I've watched a lot of My 600-Pound Life, and a lot of those women have husbands and boyfriends or whatever. Some, I think, even have girlfriends. It's like, like being fat isn't the end of the world, folks. I think that's all I have to say on that. What are fire department emergency SUVs for? I always see some Ford Explorer type fire department vehicles following the fire trucks on their calls. I'm sure it's some organizational business, but whenever I see them, I just imagine them honking / flashing their lights at the fire and feeling proud of their contributions. So yeah, I think Hannibal Buress has a joke about this, and he's like, it's like, yeah, I love seeing the fire cars or whatever. And it's like that you drive up to the fire, like, yep, that's a fire. I can't wait for the fire truck to get here so we can put it out. But no, I think that there's probably a lot of purposes with them. What I think the main purpose, from what I've learned in my years of existing, is that they are for because you can only fit so many people in a normal fire truck. So mainly the other vehicles are mainly for transportation of other firemen to said place where the fire is. And I don't know, sometimes like firefighters, they do more than just putting out fires. I know, like I think there's like breaking down walls and shit. I don't know. I don't know all the details that goes into be a firefighter, but I think they do more than fighting fires. And so I think there's other things I think, yeah, they do with that as well. So that's going to be my main guess is what they're for. But I do like the idea, like driving up to the fire. Yeah, but it's a fire. Wait for someone else to get here so we can put it out. Yeah, so no, it's no, yeah, no. I think it's mainly they might have other things in the fire vehicles too, the fire car, the fire vehicle. But I think it's mainly just for transporting more people because I think it's only like 2 or 3 seats in an actual fire truck. So I think they actually, yeah, it's better because you need more than a lot of times you need more than 2 people or whatever. And yeah, and if it's like I guess there's other things it's for too that aren't necessarily just to put out fires. But yeah, that's life for you. Teaching you something, you learn something new every day. Purpose of Cancel Schweezy is that you get to learn so many new things, so much to do, so much to see. So let's take the back streets. Why do people want to label sex workers in a positive light, yet those who require their services are losers? I see people encouraging women to go into sex work because it's their body and how badass it is. Yet men who use those services are losers and are made fun of. How does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, yeah, so one thing I have to say though, like married people, non-married people, single people, in relationship people, like we're all unless you're not into sex, like you're like the one of them asexuals, like we're all looking at porn and stuff like that, you know. We're all looking at that shit. You don't tell me like, oh, I don't look at porn. I'm like, yes, you fucking do. Don't fucking lie. You don't need to lie to me. First of all, we're not face to face. This is a podcast. You're listening to me on the internet, and I count as someone on the internet. If anyone's like, yeah, I'd rather talk to someone who's not just someone on the internet. I am someone. I count as someone on a computer, or I'm someone on your phone. I count for that. But you know, yeah, it is a thing. I think the main reason why people think they're losers is because they're not able to get sex themselves. You know, like they actually have to pay someone to do it for them. Like, what is better? Like with mowing a lawn, is it better for like, you know, me? Is it better that I pay? Would you rather have me pay you to mow my lawn, or if I can convince you to mow our lawn, like convince someone to do it for free? Like which one do you prefer? Which one is the easier answer? You know, obviously the answer you want to say is, if I can convince someone to mow my lawn for free, I'm gonna do it. And you know, it's not like I get it. Like that's a big thing, and I guess they think about it as sex. However, you know. There's some guys, you know, sometimes you just gotta accept that I have nothing to offer women. And so, yeah, but I want to get my rocks off. So I'm going to find a prostitute and give them money to suck on my knob.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
And stuff like that. So yeah, you know, some people are losers. I prefer not to, and that's okay. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm honest. I've paid for some OnlyFans out of curiosity. Some of them were good. Some of them were sucked ass, literally and figuratively. I gotta. So yeah, and so yeah, I guess it is shammed upon, but I don't know. Like, there's more than just. I think we talk about sex work, and I do want to say that people are like posting like pictures of me kind of nude but not really nude. Those don't count as sex work. That's modeling. Photos for the most part, I do think even if you're nude, photos for the most part I say count as modeling. Now, you could say like a porn model or something like that. That counts, but I don't consider that sex work. I consider that modeling. Sex work requires you to have sex, and so I do want to make that distinction. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna pay money to watch this girl have sex or finger herself or whatever, whatever we do. I mean, that kind of sex work. And you know what? We're all looking at porn anyways. It's no big deal if you pay for it. Now, if you pay too much, there's OnlyFans to me, I feel like is like, oh, this girl's gonna post naked photos of herself. I would kind of want to see her naked. And then you pay money, and then you get to see her naked, and that's how it works. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being a little curious. When I hear about a celeb's leaked nudes, I'm Googling that shit as soon as I hear it and have an appropriate place to look at it, because I don't want to be in public and be fucking looking at fucking Victoria Justice nude. Like that's not very cool. But anyways, though, I think this makes a lot of sense. If someone wants to buy a hooker, let them buy a hooker. Stop shaming people. If we're gonna stop shaming women for getting into sex work, then it has to be on the other end that women have to stop. We have to stop shaming men who pay for people who work in sex. We have to live life like that.
What?
And make them
feel like a woman, a real woman.
Yeah. Next one. Do guys feel girls' boobs while hugging them? I've heard some guys say they can feel it, but I'm asking here to make sure. What do they feel like? So to answer this question, yes, we do feel your boobs when they're hugging us. A lot of times, it's not that big of a deal. And it's not like a sexual thing. But also, we're not grabbing them with our hands. We're grabbing them. We're feeling them on our chest. So it's like, it feels like, how do I describe boobs? There was a band, when I was in high school, there was another band that we played a gig with, and they had this song called, that went like, I felt boob for the very first time. I felt boob for the very first time. And I think my drummer's Baptist pastor dad was in the audience. I don't think he really understood what they were saying. Good memories. Anyways, though, they feel like, how do you describe what a boob feels like? It's squishy. It's like firm, but not too firm. It's soft. There's a nipple there. Touch the nipple. It can be hard sometimes, which is always interesting. It's a lot of things. You got to feel it like that. But it's a difference between like feeling it against your like chest versus like holding them in your hands. So it's a weird situation. Like, think about it like a penis, for example. We have to go there. Like when you hug a guy, like if you feel a guy's penis on your chest, like you're not holding it in your hands, it's not inside you. You're like, you feel it, up against you. It's that kind of thing. Maybe penis isn't the best one. But yeah, I think you may be overthinking this. Do guys feel girls' boobs? Well, I assume you're a woman asking this question. It'd be really weird if you're a guy and you're like, I've never hugged a woman before. Do you get to feel their boobs when you hug them? Like, kind of. But it's like you're feeling boobs against like your chest. You're not holding them. It's different when they're in your hands. That's how.
That's rough, buddy.
For the guy out there who wrote this question, feel really sorry for you, buddy.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
Do women really mean it when they say we only dress for ourselves? I mean, I've seen a lot of women dressing up only for events and not in general, so I think attention is a factor here. But whose attention, male or female's? Competitiveness? Question mark. So yeah, I think you kind of got the idea down. You got an idea. And everyone's like, I don't want to dress for. I'm not dressing for the male gaze. Then you're dressing for women. And then you're dressing for attention. Like, yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. When women say we dress for ourselves, we dress for ourselves for attention. So you kind of got the idea here. Why dress if you're not gonna be, I wear like just like a t-shirt and shorts when I'm around the house. But when I go out, I do try to look a lot nicer than just wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and like this pair of Nike running shoes if I have to like walk outside for some reason. I try to wear my Converse, the best shoes ever made. I wear, I put on I'll actually put on pants, not sweatpants, jeans. And wear a nicer shirt. If I'm gonna go to like a nice event where I want to get attention, I'll put on like a nice button-up shirt. Not my shirt that says Hente and Hennessy, not that shirt. I do have that shirt, but it's not gonna be that shirt. But yeah, I'm gonna try to look because I'm wanting attention, which is what I want a lot of times. And so, yeah, you dress for that. Now, here's the thing, though. You're like, I'm not dressing for boys. I'm like, okay, you're dressing for attention. That's why we dress up, for attention, or to look nice, and to look nice, means you're getting someone's attention. And so if you're not going for the males or the females, I think because you said females, you mean they're dressing up to try to impress other women and make other women jealous of them, which is a toxic trait, and you should probably not do that. But we all do dress for attention, because men try to dress nice so we can fuck, and then women, if they're not dressing to get a rich man, they're trying to make other women jealous of them, and we gotta build each other up in this world. We can't be knocking each other down. Men supporting men, and women supporting women. I think, yeah. Is it gay for a straight man to take a full-time job professionally shaving other men's butts? So yeah, here's the thing: is it gay, fellas? Is it gay to shave another man's ass? Fellas, is it gay? The answer is no. It's like saying, if you're in the hospital and you need assistance going to the bathroom. It's like that question. Is it gay? Is it gay to help someone who's physically unable to poop? And the answer is no. That's not gay. That's not straight. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of just part of being a nurse. So you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, your time away. So I don't know, like shaving other men's asses. Like, no, women get waxes. I remember asking a chick once after a couple drinks. I'm like, how do women not have hair on their ass? Like, we grow it, we just get it waxed off. It's just one strip, and they rip it off, and it's gone. I'm like, whoa! Because I was drunk. I was like, whoa! I'm like, whoa! That happens? And they're like, yeah. So women will do that to other women, and we're not like women. Are you ladies? Is it gay to wax another woman's vagina? The answer is no. It's a job. It's weird if you're doing it for free. That is kind of weird. Sometimes people, you help your friends out like shaving their back or shit, but like unless you're getting paid, that's when like the ass stuff. It's not gay if it's for money, and like you're not like fucking sucking his dick. Are you sucking his dick afterwards? You sucking his dick after you wax his asshole? Are you you putting a finger up there? Are you doing that? Because then that's gay. Sorry to break it to you, but that is gay. But no, if you're just ripping it off and being like, all right, looks like we're good. It stings. I'm like, yeah. Well, that'll be $29.95, and then the card's declined, and then they have to surgically put the hairs back on your asshole. And that's the waxing industry, folks. I kind of, I infiltrated it, and I just told you exactly what is going on in the ass waxing industry. So, spoiled it all for you. I'm sorry. It had to be like this. I'm sorry that you had to learn this way. The truth, I can make a highlight of this. The truth behind the hair waxing industry. Is it gay? ? Do you suck dick after you wax a guy's asshole? ? I think if someone's really overreacting about this, it's just a job, buddy. I don't think waxing on a man's ass. It's fun. I always feel weird. See, I'd feel weird, like, because I think you can go men can go places and get like their dicks waxed or whatever, or your buttholes waxed. I feel weird, though, because that seems like a situation where your penis will be super small. Like, it's going to be smaller than it has ever looked in your entire life. And I don't have a cool flaccid penis like most guys do, or most guys don't. Most guys hate their flaccid dicks, to be honest. That's just life right there. Most guys hate their flaccid dicks. But yeah, I guess, but like, I think you can't be hard for it. Like, can I get turned on? I don't like the way my dick looks soft. Anyways, though, if you're my dad's friend and you decided to start listening to the show after I talked about him, I'm surprised you even made it this far into this show. Anyways, let's move on to our last question of the day. Why don't modern women want to be housewives anymore? I'm a 20-year male, and speaking from my point of view, I think it's awesome that if I had the opinion, I would want to be a stay-at-home parent. I don't have to deal with stressful managers or a toxic workplace. Cleaning a regular-sized home is very easy and efficient with all the technology we have nowadays. The only thing I can really think of that might be a pain to deal with is cooking, which takes practice and patience. Lastly, including taking care of the kids, which is easier said than done, but as the years go by, the kids start becoming self-sufficient and your involvement in babysitting decreases, thus giving you a lot of free time. So yeah, that is a good question. People, it is a good thought though. Like I hear people like why are you a stay-at-home mom? Why don't you try to get two incomes? And then you're like, well, babysitters cost this much, then I'd have to go to work and do that and get paid this much, and that money automatically goes back to babysitting or whatever for a while. So like when the kids aren't in school and they're like super little, like sometimes it makes a lot of sense to be like a stay-at-home parent. But then like, yeah, once they're in school though, it's like, what are you doing all day? You just do nothing all day? Like, yeah, it's like literally clean the house, and like you really need to clean the house like once a week maybe. I clean my bathroom like 2 times, once every 2 weeks. Unless it's really bad, then I do clean. If the toilet gets really bad, and then there's always something in the sink. So yeah, though, I think the answer to the question you're asking, though, comes from that women are now allowed to have dreams. And I do know a lot of women stop their careers for a minute when they have a child. But not every woman wants to give up their career. Women are allowed to have dreams. You know how women used to not be allowed to do things? Now they are. And truth is, most of the time, most of them always want to do it. Like, for a while, like, if women, the only career option women had were, like, secretary, school teacher, and then, like, I'm like, secretary, school, I'm still like, these are jobs for women. Flight attendants, and, like, those were jobs for women. Librarian, maybe. So, those used to be jobs women had. And now, women can have dreams. Women can be country music artists. Women can sell pics of their feet. Women don't have to be stay-at-home moms anymore. And I think, not every woman wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I think that was forced upon them from the time, and they had to make sure. And also, you also have to remember, like, if you have the ability to be a stay-at-home mom, some people do enjoy it. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, great. Modern want to be housewives anymore. But yeah, you have to think here though that what was I going to say? The times have changed. They created, it used to have like the 40-hour work week was made that way, like one person could work and make all the money, be like the breadwinner. The woman could take care of the house and stuff like that. Like take care of a house can be a full-time job too, and stuff like that. And so she was able to do that and everything from there. Now, as inflation means that rich people want to make more money. And so that's what inflation is. Don't at me on that. I mean, well, inflation actually means... Shut the fuck up. That's not what it means. It's rich people wanting more money, so they jack up the prices of their goods So you have to spend more money for it, therefore they make a bigger profit. And that's the way. And you don't see like people's paychecks getting bigger. No, because they want to keep that one too. So they make more money. And so I don't think now like jobs are, designed. And a lot of times, like, if you have kids, like it's better to have dual income because then you have more money. That's another thing too. So yeah, that's the meaning behind existing. And you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. So anyways, so yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that. Women can have dreams now. That's the answer. Anyways, though, thank you for tuning into this episode of Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Make sure you follow me over on social media at TheSchweezy. Go check out my music as under Schweezy as well, wherever you're streaming your music these days. I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSchweezy. I'm getting back into streaming again this Thursday. I will be, I'll be streaming probably Fortnite, maybe a Pokemon game. I'm getting into the point I want to play another Pokemon game. And I don't have the patience anymore. You can also check us out. If you have an Amazon Prime account connected to your Twitch, you get a Twitch Prime account, and that allows you to get one free sub a month, and that's a great way to financially support me without spending any extra money and using something that you already have for free. You can also financially support us on Patreon. It's a great way to say thank you for being a friend and helping us all out. But don't remember all the free shit you're able to do. You can smash that subscribe button. You can leave a comment, share one of our highlights, give us a like. Share the highlights with your friends, family, coworkers, mom and dad, and everyone you know, especially ones that made you specifically laugh and you had a comment. You can also, if you're on our audio-only platforms, you can leave us a review and give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 star rating. All those things I'm helping you. The free shit is just great ways to help us infiltrate algorithms. So we're ending everything like we should be. And remember, if you're in a car, you have to honk. So honk if you love butt drugs and stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Hey, you just finished a full episode of Cancel Schweezy. Thank you so much. Wherever you are listening or watching this show, make sure you smash that subscribe button that we can get notified anytime we release new episodes. And like I said before, honk if you love butt drugs and stay awesome.